Have you seen this? 5 minutes of it, maybe.
Welcome to Have You Seen This?
The world's only podcast about obscure, overlooked, and misbegotten media.
All discussions will be spoiler heavy.
You have been warned.
This show would not be possible without the support of our patrons. If you would like to support our show, join us at patreon.com/haveyouseenthis. Patrons get the show a week early, and $5 supporters also get access to our Discord. Or you can tip us at our Ko-fi. Visit the link in the show notes.
This is one of the infamous shows canceled during its pilot.
Yes. I think this happened to this show and then like another show in Australia that was a takeoff on America's Funniest Home Videos.
Right. Yeah, the premise for that was just even more cringe, where people just like, no, to hell with this, I'm not watching this. But Turn On, which was supposed to be like a more frenetic, distilled version of Laugh-In, I guess.
You watch a lot of Laugh-In, Tim?
I'm familiar with Laugh-In. I mean, I watched Nick at Night as a kid, because we got
Me too.
6 channels, 3 of them good sometimes. And it was just, here's a quick comedy setup, here's the quip, here's a non sequitur, here's something goofy. And Turn On just dialed that up. Like if you had a computer and you sent the dials all the way to 11, say, give me Laugh-In, but give me the most Laugh-In that Laugh-In has ever laughed in. And then you get Turn On. In the pilot only episode of Turn On, they mentioned that they're Peyton replace. They're, I guess, replacing the serialized primetime soap opera Peyton Place, but not for long.
Right, which came from the movie based on the novel by Grace Metalius that was a cultural sensation, yada, yada, yada.
Yes.
But I think people ended up being like really pissed off that they couldn't watch Peyton Place because this was a...
The phone lines were jammed, both of them. But the problem with Turn On, which was ostensibly a variety show they got an order for like 16 episodes. I guess the powers that be loved it. Then they aired it once, and then it was never seen again until it resurfaced on YouTube decades afterwards.
I would be fascinated to meet the people who liked this.
I don't know. I mean, maybe if you were like, because I think Harlan Ellison was reviewing television at the time. Like, I think he was a booster for it. Like, he saw something positive in it. Like, if you were steeped in like Marshall McLuhan's "The Medium is the Message" sort of, futurism, maybe you might see some validity in that.
Well, there's also the countercultural themes.
Yeah, because people were pissed off by its admittedly like shallow hack material, but not because it was shallow and hack, because it was like, let's get out of Vietnam. Have you noticed that Israel is a genocidal ethno-state? Things like that.
I gotta say that a little animated plane flying by towing a banner that says Israel über alles is an amazing bit.
Right. Yeah, that's I don't think you'd see that on TV today.
No,
yeah.
You absolutely would not. They would you would get dragged on Twitter by a million alt-right assholes calling you an anti-Semite.
Right. Well, I mean, you can say anything and get labeled an anti-Semite. It doesn't matter.
That's true.
Yeah, he could successfully run for mayor of the city with the largest Jewish population in America and still get called an anti-Semite. Well, anyway, that's beside the point.
Happy 4th of July, folks.
Right, yeah. This is coming out on the 7th. We had, they got, bits about gun control and corrupt politicians, like stuff that is just like low-hanging fruit, just across the board. There are bits on, birth control, the South. Hey, they're pro-slavery and kind of racist. Civil
they're really
rights
mean
issues.
To the South, which is like
fair, yeah, which
kind
is earned.
Of funny.
Yeah,
I'll give them that as well.
Yeah, but yeah, it is pretty much just like any like hot topic from the last 70 years. Like anything from like baby boom on, anything from like the 60s and on. Like that's the kind of hack material that we're dealing with in the show. So it's just really just shallow, trite bullshit in Turn On. Because
you know what it feels like to me?
What?
You ever read like old Mad Magazine super specials?
That's just snappy answers to stupid questions.
Sort of. It's a little like that, like, lots of gags, and it does have like that sort of because Mad did have like a countercultural flavor
Right.
to it
Yes.
politically.
Uh-huh.
Um
Yes, it's very
thing is that,
countercultural.
and I mean, people might disagree with me, but like Mad Magazine was actually funny.
Well, yeah, that is the difference. Because this is like sub-Mad magazine level material.
Yeah.
Because the format of the show, if you aren't familiar with Turn On, like I said, it's a very frenetic version of Laugh-In. It barely has time to set up any jokes, and the jokes that it tells are really just one note. It is a very trite, shallow show. Like, with the exception of one bit that uh, amazingly goes on too long, everything
Oh
on the show
God,
is a
I
minute.
know exactly what
Is
you're talking
Yeah,
about.
every sketch on the show is like under a minute, and the one that is like an entire page, like someone spent an entire page of dialogue on this one bit, is something about like ostensibly sort of like a foot fetish video.
Oh, okay, that's the other one, because
Oh,
I
okay,
thought you were
too.
referring to the sex bit
Yeah,
at
that
the end.
that felt like one of
Ugh.
those, like how SNL would do like those, like, Robert Smigel specials or something where it's like a whole thing. But yeah, okay, that sex one, because that one, that is a thin goddamn gruel.
For Tim Conway fans, because
Uh-huh.
he's the guest star. Like, if you
Yes.
ever wanted to see him looking hornily at a woman,
Horny Tim Conway. Audiences couldn't
yeah.
get enough of that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so I guess there are two bits that go on way too long. The foot fetish one, it's just
Yeah.
I think
That
it
that was
it barely
written
touches
with,
a minute.
yeah. I gotta say, like, that was written with just a bit too much passion to be like, oh, I'm writing it because foot fetishes are funny. Like, because there's a recurring character called like Eddie Edwards or something like that, who's
Yeah.
like a slick
Yeah,
pitch
just
man.
yeah, kind of like a sleazy car salesman type with like
Yeah,
the,
slick,
rubber wig
including
and
his
everything.
hair.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and his hair almost looks like plastic because there's like so much like dippity do in it or whatever,
I
to the
believe
point
that
where
is
he looks like,
exactly what it is.
yeah. Do you remember the Duracell battery family commercials from the 90s?
Not particularly, but I do remember the video for Primus's Winona's Big Brown Beaver.
Oh yeah. Yeah, kind of the same like plasticky feel where you make someone up to look plastic. That's kind of, this guy looks like
Yeah,
he's like the granddaddy
he's
of
a
them
faux
all.
pitchman, yeah.
Yeah. So, and he's kind of playing like the kind of character that Michael Palin played a lot
Right.
across the pond on Monty Python.
Cheeky
Like,
people.
oh, well, I'll tell you what, Squire,
Yeah.
except this is the American version. And when he gets to the part about like, he's talking about like a cheerleading squad in the locker room, and he's like, yeah, you'll just want to cradle their tiny little tired feet in your hands. I was like, okay, enough.
Right.
I can, and the thing is that foot fetishes, like, they're not offensive. Like, that's like the mildest fucking fetish
Right.
you can get. But like, it feels like, okay, man, you're making me a part of your scene, and I did not consent to this. And for middle America in 1969, this must have been like,
Outre.
what the fuck
Yeah.
are they trying to show to our children?
Right.
And I don't know that I necessarily blame them.
Well, I mean, a bad sketch is a bad sketch. Maybe they should just stick to things that are a half a page or shorter. Because some of the interstitials,
Get out.
Yeah. Oh, a bit of the old in out sex, huh?
Wah!
Yeah, that's the level of joke writing on this show.
It really is. And oh my god, it prefigured Quibi.
Well, it prefigured TikTok. And it is relevant.
You're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
And it's relevant to, if you talk about, because the show billed itself as the first show made by computer. Like, the setup is you have two sort of anonymous techs, like they walk up to this console and they start pushing buttons, and like the screen will turn on and it'll say like religion, and they'll do just some hackneyed bit about religion, or they'll say sex.
Does a pope shit in the woods?
Right.
Except,
yeah.
You can't say shit on TV back then.
Yeah. Or, they'll have like, the pill or something. And like, just like, it just goes around and around. It's just this sort of almost procedurally generated content where it's like, give me, top 5, controversial, religious controversies or something, and then they'll like
Yeah.
make a sketch out of that. Like just rip me something from the headlines.
And minimal staged too. Like it's all like it's all in like a
The
blank white room, and there'll be like a couple like cardboard flats around for like oh, here's some bushes, or like oh, we put like a
Yeah,
like a
the producer
judges like
bills that
podium.
as innovative because they can just shoot in like this empty space and you can do like split diopter shit and like
Hmm.
it's sort of it's like you're watching TV from THX 1138. Like I would love it if like one of the sketches just cut to like a chrome cop like beating a prisoner. And that goes on
and
for a minute.
and honestly, it would fit in with the strong ACAB themes of the show.
Right. Well, fair. Yeah.
But we'll get to that.
Yeah. But yeah, the show is it is it's so fast that you don't notice that your time is being wasted, which I guess is ultimately the goal of television.
It flies and yet it drags. Like when
Perfect.
you're
Yeah.
looking at something that's 22 minutes long and and this is easily available on YouTube,
Yeah.
by the way, maybe more on that later. But
Yeah. The
when
first
you're
two
like,
episodes, or the only two like existent episodes, that we know of. Although you could watch either of them, you could watch neither of them, and it's the same experience. But you were saying,
pretty much.
yeah,
And yeah, and so like when you're watching this and you keep like moving your mouse to the bar at
the
the bottom, it's
timeline,
like, okay,
yeah,
how fucking much more do we have? Because Jesus Christ.
right, yeah,
It doesn't help that because the premise is like, oh, this is written by a computer, which
hmm
obviously it wasn't. Can you
right,
believe there was a writer's room on this?
yeah. There was like 9 writers for this,
One of
which
one of whom was Albert
Albert
Brooks.
Brooks, yeah,
Yeah,
just slumming it.
yeah.
I guess he needed
This
the work.
that's like when you're watching Riding with Death, and fucking Stephen Bochco comes up in the credits.
Well, I mean, that doesn't surprise me. Like Cop Rock and Fish Police.
Okay, well, let's say Stephen D'Souza, who is of course the scribe of Hudson Hawk.
Okay, yeah, that's different. Because I mean,
Yeah.
he knew what his muse was. He just hadn't quite found his instrument.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I wonder if he's on Blue Sky. He was on Twitter.
I don't know. You want to
He
have him on the
followed
show?
he followed Bitter Corella actually.
Okay, we'll have both of them on the show.
Yeah, writers roundtable. But
Right. Yeah, so
sorry,
9
I pushed
writers.
us- yeah.
And I mean, I guess if the show is 22 minutes and they had to come up with 40 jokes, so yeah, sure, you do need 9 writers for that.
Yeah, well, I mean, I see the point of the writers' room where it's like sheer volume, and then you can pick out
Yeah.
you can pick the core nuggets out of the
Yeah,
septic
yeah.
tank
Never,
that
never
way.
mind that. Like, because our one of our mutual friends, like he wrote for Robot Chicken for a while, and
Mhm.
he remarked on how exhausting an experience it was because he was a very prolific. I talk about him like he's dead. I mean, he's a father now, so I guess technically yes. Um, no, but like,
Am I right?
yeah, but I mean, he was just an insanely prolific joke writer. But like a day of working on that show, it's like, well, I did all 500 jokes I can do about self-driving cars. Like, okay, we'll come up with 500 more tomorrow, and they'll use like 2 of them
Yeah.
because that's
Yeah.
just separating the wheat from the chaff. But there's nothing separating it in Turn On in the same way that an AI, if you asked it a question about how many rocks are safe to eat, it'll weigh like the U.S. Geological Survey, and it'll weigh an article from The Onion and be like, well, we got 2 answers here, may as well put them both in. So it's just this,
And that is how rocks became a part of the American diet.
yeah. So Turn On is just this deluge of just trite, meaningless content. And
Yeah,
so in a
because-
way, maybe it was like, predicting future television or future entertainment, but it is exhausting to watch.
Yeah. And it doesn't help that there's this, at least in the beginning, I forget at which point it like stops, like much too late in the episode, but there's like this constant Moog based music bed,
Mhm.
like under it, just kind of like bleeps and boops.
Yeah.
And-
It sounds like someone like upended like a bucket of water over like a Pac-Man console.
Tim, you know how much I enjoy synthesized and electronic music?
Yeah, you're a big chiptunes boffin. I know that about you.
I love analog
Booster.
synthesizers, and
Uh-huh.
this made me want to track down every extant Moog synthesizer of the period and smash it
Yeah,
because
just feed them into an industrial shredder.
you're being blasted with these like unrelenting, unfunny bits,
Uh-huh.
and then there's this percolating, grating music underneath it.
Yeah,
The experience is
irrespective.
so unpleasant.
Yeah,
And
it's
how much?
irrespective of whatever's going on screen. It is
Yeah.
very like because it's like I'd heard this somewhere where it was something that about filmmaking where it's like edits divide but music music combines or coalesces.
Unites?
It unites. Thank you. Yeah, because you can use music to form like a consistency throughout a scene. Like
Mm-hmm.
maybe Henry Hill is almost in a fender bender on the street. Henry Hill is in the hospital. Henry Hill is, picking up his buddies, delivering the silencers to Jimmy. But it's that same song that carries you through the whole thing. So
Mm-hmm.
music unites while the edit divides. The problem is that it is the same music bed throughout the entire episode. So it's kind of one continuous bit, but the editing says otherwise. So it
Right.
is in conflict.
And it just occurred to me, like, can
Yeah.
you imagine how that must have sounded on the average television speaker of the time?
I mean, it would have sounded like an Atari. Not that
Like,
those were
just
out for another decade.
horrible. Like,
Yeah,
that soundtrack, like, blaring out of, like, a tiny ass speaker on,
right.
like, a big old, like, tube TV in a wooden cabinet. Just, oh, God. It makes my head hurt thinking about it.
Yeah, you could stomach that for like I don't know, phase 4 or something, or something with a predominantly electronic soundtrack like Tron or something. I mean, when it's done well, sure.
Yeah, like this and I forget who they credit the music to. But it ain't no Wendy Carlos, let's put it that way.
This is true. Another thing,
It ain't even Plantasia.
right?
Actually,
Plantasia's nice.
Plantasia's kind of awesome.
Yeah,
So
Plantasia's good. The what was
it's
saying
not
about
even, that song Popcorn?
no. Oh. Okay, yes, I do.
That's kind of a bop. Like,
Yeah.
it's not even as good as that.
Well, yeah, it's a long-lived piece of fanfare, like the music for the feature presentation. Which,
Yeah.
if you hear that music play, you know that Quentin Tarantino is not far from you.
Yeah, he's rubbing his wife's feet and
Oh,
watching
just
a
like that
movie.
sketch, that hilarious interminable 1 minute sketch.
God.
Uh,
Ugh.
so yeah, the electronic music is very distracting.
Punishing.
Yeah, it is not soothing. It's not mellow. Wyndham Hill hasn't quite cornered the market on soothing electronic music yet. I got to put
It's
one in
like
the MSD
supposed
swear jar
to,
for that.
and it's supposed to evoke like, oh, this is the computer age, like hence this like
Yeah,
synthesized soundtrack, and like I guess in a way it also evokes like the half a room size computer like just shitting out these gags
right. Yeah,
at a staccato pace.
yeah.
So
It's just two guys
that
flipping
fits.
dials where it's like sex on, religion off, sex off, religion on, and then just like, hey, computer, with these two prompts, what do you give me? And it's like,
Right.
I can give you, and again, this is like, generative AI of video. It's like you could give it a prompt to be like, hey, can you write me a single sketch that tells one joke? And, a large enough computer can, boil a lake and probably crap that out. Like the thing about the like you saw that video going around, it was a shit zoo. It was that generative video of a guy just telling like this awful dad joke, but it's like, oh my god, it's so realistic. It's like, it's still a shitty joke. Why did you make this?
Do you remember for a while on social media, like before like generative AI actually like
Mm-hmm.
was dispersed to the public,
Mm-hmm.
when people would say like on Twitter or something, they'd be like, I trained an AI how to write
Oh
a
yeah.
police
Yes, I remember that.
procedural.
Yes.
And then you'd have this like incredibly fake, unfunny like page of a fake script.
Right.
And it's like and it got so like every time I saw the person say like, I trained an AI, I was just like, no, you didn't. No, you fucking didn't. Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up.
I reject your premise that you in fact have a 12-inch tall man who can play a piano with you. The very notion is absurd.
I'm amazed we didn't get a 12-inch pianist joke in this show. That probably didn't make it past standards and practices.
Too much
to be honest.
wordplay. Yeah, people wouldn't get it.
Although the sexy lady who like
the body
says-
politic.
yes,
yes.
I was like, it's called like the titular or something.
Right. Yeah.
But I knew that wasn't right. Yeah. She does all the innuendos, and
that's good.
I guess they're funny and like kind of like
whatever. I think
right.
there was one like way Homer joke that I'm like, oh, okay. But you know, again, it's funny enough. It's that, you know, I exhaled through my nose at you, sir. Like it is that level of comedy where there's one.
You were like, no, please finish.
Yeah, no, where there's one joke where I'm like, it took me a second after the joke finished for me to be like, oh, I get it. But
you had the same reaction as that recurring cat puppet that just like turns to the viewer and like kind of like does like the upward nod of acknowledgement.
Right, yeah, it's like
it's that kind of a joke.
It's like someone left Bill the cat in like the washing machine too long. That is a beat up puppet.
I watched this twice. I did my due diligence, people, the things I do for you. And
I watched both the episodes and I was like, I deserve a treat after this.
I hope you got like a 3,000 calorie like ice cream concoction.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I really started to like love this cat because
I figured if anything that was what you would like.
Yeah, because like the cat looked as like frankly disgusted as I was.
That cat was really beat to hell.
Yeah,
and it's funny too because they do have puppets on this, and like Muppets were sort of a thing. Like Muppets prefigured this, but you know, like the Muppet Show and even like the Muppets on Saturday Night Live, like those didn't come for like another 5 or 6 years.
70s,
yeah, those didn't come until the 70s.
Yeah, Henson was still doing like coffee ads or something.
Yeah, he's still.
I don't know the exact timeline.
Yeah, he's still blowing up puppets with a paper mache cannon. just mayhem. Like that was good.
Yeah, I love the one where like the Kermit puppet just straight up like fucking shoots in the puppet with a gun.
All right, yeah, I guess I'm gonna buy you your ground beef now. I don't want to be on the wrong side of this frog. It's just nuts.
See, that is, you know, leaving aside the puppet factor, like that's good snappy gag writing.
Yeah, it can be done.
It's
like
under a minute. Set up, punchline.
Yeah,
they're big laugh.
Yeah, watch Laugh-In, watch The Muppet Show, watch Sesame Street. It can be done. But this one, it feels like they just like ratcheted it up too high, and not in a way that's like, you know, the audience wasn't ready for it. Because I mean, you could make a point of like, you are getting a scrolling variety show when you open TikTok, because it's like, you know, here's 30-second bit, here's a 20-second bit, here's an interminable minute and a half long Shaggy Dog story, here's someone doing a stupid dance, and it's like TikTok is basically Turn On. In some way, like, you know, people have found a way to make that entertaining, but man, Turn On is just, you know, I think we've already established it. Turn On is just punishing to watch, though.
Yeah.
Like if you had an AI making TikToks, just sourcing, you know, some like two yabos in like some some server room somewhere, just like saying, hey, you know, write me a sketch about religion, write me a sketch about gun control. Like you can remake Turn On and just flood TikTok or whatever with just these insipid, just like mid-level bits, just this trash level hack comedy. But you can do it, and maybe it'll be easier than trying to write a good show, but maybe that's not the goal after all.
The other day, like someone, it was because like on Blue Sky, like speaking of hack bits, I posted a reference to that. Oh my God, they were roommates Vine.
Okay.
And I was thinking after I posted it, I was like, man, Vine was so much better than TikTok.
Yeah.
But because they couldn't figure out how to squeeze any money out of it, of course it had to go away.
Right. Yeah. Like we aren't doing this for charity. We're doing this to sell Advil.
Yeah. There were so many like classic like brief videos that came out of Vine. I wouldn't have thought it was possible
Yeah.
before the platform existed, but it was just like regular people who were turning out these like really fucking funny little bits that were only like a few seconds long.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that people don't like do that on TikTok, but TikTok being so much more like crassly commercial and also like positively laden with misinformation and disinformation,
Right.
it just doesn't have the same feel at all.
Yeah. And maybe it is that they did still need to kind of obey that, writer's room ratio of like, okay, write me 500 jokes and we're going to use 2 of them. But this is so much like evergreen hack material in this that it just feels lazy because, like I'm thinking of a couple of videos in particular. I don't know if they were Vines, but one of them was, I think it's a precursor of the real sexy, just like you asked, meme that was like, hey, can you write me some pause music for the GoldenEye for Nintendo 64? And it's just this like dope hip hop jam. Like it's just like really like chill and ominous. And like I was at a convention, the guys talking about it was just like, well, it was I knew that hip hop was popular. I wasn't familiar with it, but I just put a hip hop beat under the like the basic like a minimalist James Bond theme, and then I went on to do the next piece of music. Like that was it. It was like 20
Smart.
minutes of work, and it became this
Nice.
this touchstone. Or like,
Wow, it's like the Battletoads pause music. Another
right.
banger.
Yeah, exactly. Or like this, I don't know if it was I'm sure it was a TikTok and not a Vine, but it was the woman being like arranging, like rearranging a table, but she's doing it in Microsoft Word. And so she like moves
Oh,
her table an inch and like everything in the room just like changes position. It's like a
that's a
5
great
second
bit.
bit. Yeah. Like how much
Yeah.
work went into this? You don't see
Yeah.
that in Turn On.
No, you do not.
It is set up punchline, set up punchline. Like I cannot I don't envy the comedic actors who worked on this because I don't see any of them like stretching their skills or pushing themselves comedically. It's like I just say something wry, like that's
Yeah.
about the extent of it, and it is again exhausting to watch.
Yeah. It isn't like Saturday Night Live or Monty Python where you have actors being able to like embody a character a little bit.
Yeah, yeah, because the characters are so stock that you would think they were from the movie The Driver.
Yeah, it's true because like it's like, oh, man talks to woman.
Yeah, it's like we have like,
Groovy black girl.
yeah, we have the sexy
Southern
lady.
judge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we have the corrupt cop.
Officer Potato O'Famine.
Yeah, they did hire a Latino actor though. Guess what role he was playing?
Yeah, he gets to play like a stereotype comedy Mexican and a South American dictator. And it's like, oh, cool. Okay.
Yeah, really stretching yourselves, guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's just evergreen hack material. But part of what is so like punishing about watching this is, like you were saying earlier about it just being like this, nonstop, just like shotgun approach, is the show constantly demands your attention, but it is in service of nothing. Like you say, it flies, but it drags. So
Yeah.
it's like only a ever setup. So it's like you need to constantly pay attention to the show because it's always like, again, it's the driver. It is Bruce Dern like snapping a photo in your face. Like, hey,
Yeah,
hey,
like,
hey,
oh,
pay
stop
attention.
it.
Look here. Look at the show. Look at the show. And it's like, okay, you've got my attention. What do you want from me? It's like, nothing. We're already done. Let's start over again. You're like, fuck, let me just mentally clear the table so I can pay attention. Oh, the bit's already over. Oh, another one is on its way. Meanwhile, there's this constant drum of electronic music distracting you. And just, it's, like,
yeah. And
if you wanted me to give up state secrets, just, make me watch 2 episodes of Turn On.
The way that the show is set up, like these are very simple setups intended to be grasped immediately.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, we're in a public park. Oh, we're in a police station. That kind of thing.
Yeah, I'm at the therapist.
Yeah, and it isn't. It's really hard to go back and kind of put yourself in the mind of an average television viewer in 1969, and it isn't that like these people, like it's very funny to talk about them like they're cavemen. Like, well, their frontal
it
lobes
was a
were like
different time. Yeah, people's
were
brains
much
weren't
less
fully
developed.
developed in the 60s.
Yeah, like the Cro-Magnon viewers of 1969. But no, like
It's because they were smoking too much leaded weed.
um yeah, like it's kind of hard to calibrate, honestly, because they were certainly exactly as intelligent as we were. They weren't. They certainly had not had their brains deformed
Yeah.
by social media like we had. But they were. This was like a generation that like knew television,
Uh-huh.
so it shouldn't be that like hard of a sell. Like, oh yeah, like quick gags, like kind of flying by you. But at the same time, you watch it and you're like, this is so disorienting, and it must have seemed like even much more so in 1969. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, well, we were on the
And
cusp of the new. I mean, if you recall, like Skidoo's preoccupation with like a push button lifestyle, people are just like, oh, it's
yes,
just computers now. Everything is computers.
everything is computer.
Yeah,
Um,
everything is compute.
and like, okay, like, have you ever seen a documentary called Hearts and Minds?
No, but I can guess what it's about.
Um, it's essentially like about the war in Vietnam,
Right.
and Academy Award winning documentary, and you
Mm-hmm.
see a lot of footage of like the America at the time, and it is incredible to see, because you know how like you'll watch like if you happen to stumble across Fox News
Mm-hmm.
accidentally, and you just
And
look
like
at it
if
and you're
you're in
like,
an
God,
airport
like,
or at the dentist.
yeah, like you're in a waiting room and you're looking at Brian Kilmeade or something like that, and you're like, Jesus Christ, like I don't think I could even have a fucking conversation with this person.
Mm-hmm.
Like their
Not through
point
the
of view is
TV,
like
anyway.
so their point of view is like so detached from mine. And that's what a lot of the footage of like quote unquote the average American is like
Mm-hmm.
in Hearts and Minds. Like, because obviously the people making the documentary were, these were,
Yeah, that's a
countercultural people wanting to critique like American policy in Vietnam. And then you'll see like footage of a like homecoming parade or something,
well, yeah,
and you're like,
that's
oh
another
my God,
that's
these are all
another
like these are all like Nixon voters. Like
yeah.
that's what they looked like.
Well, that's another quip that I had seen online that I'd internalized. The past is a foreign country.
It
I
really
forget who
is.
said it,
And
but yeah, that's the thing.
I mean, that's why I keep like kind of like waffling between like I understand the viewer of 1969, but I don't actually, because it's like
Right.
the chuds of 1969 are much different from the chuds of now.
Yeah, I mean, you can
Like,
only understand it as a consumer of television, but even then, as someone who like is familiar with, TikTok and AI generated content, even this, it's just it's hard to watch. It's like a mental enema.
yeah, and I believe that they did that. Networks did across the country did get complaints from
Yeah.
viewers.
Not like a huge amount. And there's a video where, again, like of course he's biased, but George Slater, the producer, he's like, oh, we got reports that the switchboards are lighting up, and he's like, well, the switchboard was a phone with two lines on it, and one of them was the numbskull like receptionist girl talking to her boyfriend on line one, and line two was some crank. So take it with a grain of
Yeah,
salt.
the kind of person who gets angry enough to call up a television station.
Right? Can you imagine? Or like
It's like
dedicating an hour to complaining about a TV show.
like if I social media isn't making me mad enough, I can
Uh-huh.
always turn to the letters to the editor in our local free newspaper, because Jesus fucking Christ.
Yeah. I saw some letters to the editor in a local paper in Brisbane, and I'm like, oh, this is not a friendly place. I need to get out of here.
All the letters were written by angry kangaroos and echidnas.
Right? Yeah. Some platypus is like, come here, I dare you.
It's like a
I-
cockatoo with like a pen in one hand
Right, yeah.
or foot.
Yeah, I just wanted to show you something. I just want to show you this barb that I have. But back to what you were saying about the show being just like this, white like void where they have like a couple of cardboard cutouts and some very stock characters. The problem that the show would not be able to overcome is ultimately its format. Like these are all
Hmm.
really stock characters. These are all stereotypes. This is all really shallow comedy because the show's meant to be so quick that there isn't any time to develop anything that is like truly like has any kind of depth to it or is about like a specific issue. Like you can only talk broadly about social issues because soon enough you're like, oh, we're on to the next topic. And then and I'm still trying to keep up because I'm like, I don't know like why Lou's dad is going to New York because apparently like he has some kind of secret which was mentioned in like the earlier episode, but like I'm just trying to keep up. But anyway, like the scene goes on and it's like Lou and he's talking to his mom who is, very young for being his mom. So like apparently like Lou hit someone with his car, apparently.
Right.
Which I thought that would have been I thought that would have been Ryan O'Neal's character. I thought that would have been Rod, but no, that was completely unrelated. And I like had to go back and find out what the issue was. But
Well,
soon
Ryan
enough,
O'Neal's character is like on crutches, I think.
yeah, yeah. So he had been hit by a car earlier when he's on his motorcycle, and so like that's basically his arc. But like we only get like the briefest of check-ins with that because it is like here's a problem with Lou, then here's a problem with Maggie, and here's a problem with like Ryan O'Neal's on crutches, but we don't understand why because we're just going through like every different one of these like character interactions. So it's like I understand that it's there to like keep the viewers watching, but it's tough to like pick up partway through. And like that's part of what confused me at first. Like I had to go back and watch, some earlier episodes to understand like the context of why all these things are happening.
Right, right.
So, but I guess if you stick with it enough, then like eventually it starts to make sense and you get invested in these characters because I think part of the appeal of Peyton Place was that you had characters that like you felt one way about, and then like over time, like their characters, kind of subtly change, and you're like, oh, I like her. Well, now I don't like her. I like him. Oh, I don't like him. Like he seems awful. Well, now I pity him, and that's a way to like keep viewers engaged because it ran for like 5 seasons. It was
Right.
like 500 episodes or something. It was crazy, and it was like the first like primetime soap opera, because those have kind of been relegated to like daytime TV.
Yeah, they were for housewives.
Right, yeah, and it's pretty much just a way to like keep keep your housewife self busy because like you didn't have anywhere to go, and like once the chores were done and the shopping was done, you're like, well, let's check in with this uh the social outlet that I'm not getting in my regular life because I'm just relegated to being at home. So
Yeah, kids are at school. Like, what do I have to do until they get back around 3 p.m.?
yeah, so I definitely see the appeal to that because it does like fill a social need. The show does like tend to jump around, and it is, as has always been the case with daytime television, it is unfortunately a very thin gruel because like we were talking earlier about Turn On, where all the bits are like 30 seconds to a minute. Like each of these scenes is like 2 pages. Like we get a brief check-in of Stephen and Betty because Stephen's like I can help. No, it's Betty has been written out of the will apparently. um but Susan, who's kind of a conniving bitch, although maybe maybe it turns out that Betty is the one that we don't like.
Is Susan the Barbie doll looking one?
Yeah, Susan's the blonde.
That is that that is a remarkable woman.
Just like
I
a
can't put my finger on it, but
just very womany, like she should be like painted and like jiggling on Laughing or something.
well, I think it's all the hair.
Oh, okay. Just on her
Like the
face and chest.
Yeah, I think she has that like werewolf disease.
Oh, right,
No,
yeah.
like the prodigious golden locks, I
Okay.
guess.
Yeah, fair enough. I
Yeah.
mean, it's part of what was appealing because they do have, a variety of characters across Peyton Place. There's, of course, Ryan O'Neal's character, which is amazing. Just as like, we're gonna need like a tag on our website for Ryan O'Neal now.
He's so young here. Like even
Yeah,
his voice sounds different. Like it's higher pitched because
yeah,
he's like so young.
yeah. But I guess he's kind of like one of the major protagonists. The other one is kind of an elusive actor who we've seen in other notable '70s fare. That's Ed Nelson.
We found him, folks.
Yeah, we found the elusive Robert Denby. That's another one in the MST swear jar.
I think that's $20 in the
Yeah,
jar.
easily. Yeah, because he was all over 60s and 70s television. I didn't know that. So apparently he was
Yeah.
like a major get for Writing with Death.
Was he ever on Kolchak, the Night Stalker?
I'm sure he was.
Feels like he should have been.
Yeah, at some point. So yeah, you have Ryan O'Neal's character. You have Ed Nelson. You have the stunningly blonde Susan. You have the brunette Betty, who I guess is kind of a bitch. That's a lot of bees. You have
And black people.
yeah, you have Lou and his
There
drama.
are black people in this show.
Right. And I was trying to piece together because Ryan O'Neal, like Rod, like he had been hit by a car earlier, and they talk obliquely about Lou hitting someone with his car in New York. And I'm like, did he hit Rod? Like, did he run over? Did he run him down? Like, no, it's unrelated, but I don't know. It's a daytime soap opera. Or no, it's a primetime soap opera. They probably weren't gonna like make a whole like, they weren't getting out the red string to like try and tie all these loose threads together. It's like a bunch of shit happens. Someone's getting divorced. Someone's seeing someone else. Blah blah blah.
That's like it's like that would be like a proto like Bonfire of the Vanities, like a reverse Bonfire of the Vanities, where like a black youth like accidentally hits like a white man with his car, like physically injuring him
Jen, I think you're writing Crash 2.
in New York.
Yeah, Crash set in New York.
Yeah.
I mean,
Oh my god, everything's collapsing in on itself.
yeah. Have an AI develop that idea, and we'll release a 30-second generated single shot video. It'll be immediately downvoted and forgotten.
Thank God.
Yeah. So
we shouldn't tamper in God's domain.
right. Oh no, there are no gods there. This is gods would not tread in this graveyard of civilization.
There aren't gods anymore, just tech CEOs.
Gross.
Yeah.
Yeah, we killed them all.
We live in hell.
Right, it's true. Yeah, so you do only get like kind of snippets of the story because the idea of a soap opera is the same as what Dan Harmon said about TV. Like, we promise to keep you entertained. All we ask in exchange is the rest of your life, which I keep messing up. But yeah, the idea is there, and it's just like maybe really like
you haven't messed up as much as Dan Harmon, though.
That's true. Yeah. So few people at work have seen my balls.
You got to get those numbers up, Tim.
I know, those are rookie numbers.
There are people who've only seen like one.
Right. Yeah. Just a little peek, just a hint. That's why I don't wear those pants from H&M anymore. It's too much. But
that's why I don't wear the short shorts to work anymore.
Hey, sometimes it gets hot.
You just like rocking up to the office in like short shorts and roller skates.
Oh man, like a half shirt, like some pink sunglasses with like the frames are shaped like hearts.
Tim, I like this look for you for summer.
Like what?
It's very bold.
I thought it was my day off.
Like what? You said casual Friday.
Yeah.
Like, is this not casual enough? I can take my shirt off.
Yeah. Oh hey, here's a company-wide email for Casual Fridays canceled.
I could let you see one ball.
$5 I'll let you see one. 10 I'll let you see them both.
How much for the tip?
Buddy, if you have to ask.
Okay, just the head.
Right, yeah. Yeah, so
I've been
that's
alone too long, Tim.
right. Yeah, I know. Would you say that's what watching Peyton Place is like? It's like you only get to see one ball, but you never really see the full thing.
Peyton Place is like it's like the parasocial experience of podcasting before podcasting.
Right, yeah, you're deeply
It's like all
invested in each
these
of these
people in this
characters.
small town are my friends.
Yeah, yeah,
Even
totally.
that bitchy blonde chick.
Well, I mean, you got to have someone to hate. Hell's, being forever trapped in a room with your friends. I learned that from Red Dwarf. Yes, I'm a rogue scholar.
It would be funny if they had a cat character on this show,
That
just
would,
like played by a guy.
yeah. You know what? They should have a cat character on Turn On, just like just a mop, just a
A
piece
cat
of
that just
garbage.
goes, "Sup,"
Yeah, it just like does a take to the camera. It looks like a
and then leaves.
pile of filthy laundry.
No, cat, take me with you,
Yeah, like,
please.
sorry, every meow for himself. Uh, yeah.
I have toxoplasmosis.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Did you actually watch either episode of Peyton Place that I sent?
I did, and like some extra to kind of like orient myself.
Yeah, you have to, because you can't just like dive right in and be like, oh no, Dr. Mattis is going to New York.
Yeah.
Right.
And like am I like I assume I was supposed to be invested in some way in like the old people, like
Yeah, I do
I
not
don't want
know.
to say romance, but
I do not know who those old people are, and I don't care. But that is the advantage of a serialized soap opera, is that even if you don't care about the sketch, like there's another one coming along in 2 minutes.
I and admittedly, like, oh well, like, okay, like I know it is sort of stupid to be like, oh, I don't understand like what was happening in the scene. Oh,
Mhm.
like, did you watch any of the like 400 other episodes that came before it?
Yeah,
That
I don't
like
get it. I opened
richly
this book to the middle, and I was immediately lost. 1
right.
star.
So it is, but the the flip side is that this isn't like Henry James. It's like it's not like difficult material,
No.
and like most soap operas, the emotions are all like very like on the surface. It's like, oh well, they obviously hate each other or whatever.
Yeah, you have like
Um,
2 of the like whitest teenagers like just bickering about something because like the guy feels jilted.
right, but like in the scene with like the old people, like they come in from like I don't know, like
They're out ice skating at the lake, and she's like, "Oh, kids today, not so different from us." Like she's a very
yeah. I was gonna
winsome
say
old
ski
bird.
jumping, but
Probably,
whatever.
yeah. Well, I mean, could be both.
Competitive curling,
Oh man, just breaking.
um,
No, she broke her hip. Competitive ski jumping.
skioring. When you're pulled behind a horse on skis. The horse isn't on skis. You are.
Oh, damn!
Although that could add some
That could have
spice to
been
it.
much cooler. Yeah.
Yeah, it would be hard to like put like you would have to like attach the horseshoes to the skis and then like nail the horseshoes to the horse's hoof. Like that would be pretty difficult. But
Well, I mean, I
I
think
don't
that
know.
they probably have like the same ski shoe solution, where just like the horseshoe just locks into the ski.
Oh, smart! Like
Yeah.
ski boots.
Right. Yeah. Ski
Yeah,
boots. Yeah.
that's true. Yeah. Okay. Well, Tim, you just solved my problem. Thanks.
Well, yeah. Well, I typed it into Better Off Dead GPT, and it came up with a skiing solution.
Well, I gotta go tack up my horse and also put skis on him.
Right. Yeah. Well, I
But
mean,
I
the
won't need
weather's
this
changing.
hammer. But okay, so they come in from doing luge or whatever they were doing,
Hmm.
and they're warming up in the store, which I guess the old guy owns. And then a guy comes in, like a young man,
Hmm.
and the older lady is like, "Oh, I didn't recognize you without your collar," because she knew him from church. And
Hmm.
I was like, "Okay, so is this like a defrocked priest?"
It's on his
I
day off.
assume.
It's not Sunday. That's the nice thing about being, in the clergy, is that you get 6 days off a week.
Yeah, you can like drink and whore and swear as much as you want,
Yeah.
and as long as they're good on Sunday. But
It's the
yeah.
Sunday
So
morning you
and
wake up in a pool of your own filth, just like, oh God, oh my
oh
Lord
god,
and Savior.
oh god,
Do I have work
Jesus,
today?
oh,
Jesus Christ, Father
Jesus,
Almighty.
Jesus, help me get to the rectory. Ugh. Ugh.
Yeah.
Okay, you have to leave. There's money on the dresser. I gotta get to church. Um, is this a Danny McBride show? Anyway,
Hey,
um,
maybe.
oh
No,
fuck,
no,
I
Jen,
would
it's a
love.
Cumtown bit.
Oh my god, my one frame of reference next to Mystery Science Theater. I would love to see a Danny McBride version of Peyton Place.
Yeah, obviously.
That would be so fucking good.
Well, I mean, you have seen, well, maybe you, not you in particular, but you have recently seen a version. A lot of people have seen a recent version of Peyton Place. It is called Season 2 of Andor. We should have just done an episode about it because I am so sick of this fucking show. I mean, it's already over. Like it's dead and buried, but you'll notice that it's the same pattern where it is a pair of actors get a scene no longer than 3 pages and we just rotate through them. Like this was the high-minded format of season 2 of Andor, where scenes were scarcely longer than 2 pages. It's a formulaic fucking soap opera. That was the format. We're just gonna check in here for a little bit. Nothing will happen, but we're gonna release 3 more episodes, and then the show's gonna get good. And it's like, why don't you just start the show at the good part? It's like, because Disney wants you to pay for Disney Plus for 3 months. Like, that's why we're thinning this gruel out. We're just parsing out just tiny pieces of what should amount to something, but ultimately doesn't. It's just, here's a little piece of nothing. Here's a little piece of nothing, but just keep watching. Don't ever leave. And that really is a tragedy of Turn On, that we're still getting that cycle of like, here's a little morsel of nothing that you'll already have forgotten about by the time it ended. But before you can react, here comes another one. And don't you ever goddamn look away.
It is kind of novel how the credits are just interspersed throughout the show.
Yeah, I thought that was pretty clever. It's a show that kind of never starts or ends. Like,
Yeah.
if it were an art
This is a
installation, I
show
would give it a
that
lot more
never
credit,
ends.
because it's something you can just sort of like drop in and out of at will.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I thought that, like, because there's a point where, you know, Tim Conway like addresses the camera and it's like, welcome to Peyton Replace, because it was, you know, preempting,
Boom!
yeah, Peyton Place. And
Peyton Place? What's Peyton Place? I feel like I'm in the movie Head.
Right. Yeah, that was very disjointed and cut up. It can be done well and it can be done badly. Usually if people don't know why they're doing it, it's just like, yeah, this is the format of the time. We're just going to do another one of these.
Well, I guess along with the swelling counterculture elements of the time,
Mm-hmm.
like there was also this urge to experiment with mediums, like as they were, and like with a particularly stodgy medium like television.
Why does no one say media anymore?
Huh?
Everyone says mediums. The plural
I'm
of
stupid.
mediums is well, you aren't the only one to do that. Everyone says mediums now.
Yeah, like, well, you know, I'll give you that because it's dumb. It's like it's like saying, you know,
It's like saying donators.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Thank you for pointing that out.
That's what I'm
I will
here
correct
for.
myself in the future if I remember. But yeah, and so there was that urge to experiment, but there are successful experiments and failures, and especially like, you know, like 60 years on, you don't see the failures because like how many of us are going to YouTube to watch Turn On? I do not recommend this, by the way.
No, like Turn On, you can't even put it on in the background because it's constantly assaultive, like fighting for your attention.
Yeah, and
and you can't mute it because it isn't much to look at.
Yeah, it's intended for you, and this is, I think I said this a couple episodes ago about, like, you know, the Netflix style of filmmaking where it's like, oh, well, you just have the characters like say what they're doing as they're doing it because people aren't really looking at the screen.
Right. Never mind. Like, why don't you just make something that is more compelling that people feel required to watch?
Yeah, like it's ridiculous to say like oh yeah, like here's a TV show, but you have to look at the screen and know what's going on. Like, And that's
Well, part of
that's
that.
the premise of this.
Well,
But
and part of that is again like the I don't know the rot at this, like the like doing not doing one thing right, but rather doing two things wrong. Like that's what Netflix is dealing with, where it's like people aren't paying attention to our shows, and it's like, why is that? I don't know. Why did Jessica Jones have to be 13 episodes long? Like there's a point where you just stop paying attention because you're like, I'm just gonna put this on, just have it on the background. I know this episode isn't important. This is the scene where Jessica walks to the bodega and then gets in her car and then goes and like fills up her gas tank or something. You're like, none of this shit fucking matters.
but when does she hit Lou with her car?
Oh, that happened in episode 497, and that's why,
Oh, okay.
that's why Dr. Wiley was going to fly to New York. But Lou called too late. He was going to confess, but the flight already left. So I don't remember the doctor's name. His name is Dr. Miles, a black doctor, which is interesting.
Dr. Black.
Yes, God. What are you, a writer for Turn On?
There is a bit. Did you catch that bit in Turn On where Tim Conway is like a shoe shine guy, and
Yes.
he says to a passing black man, "Shine boy,"
Ah,
and it's like, excuse me, what?
right. Yeah, it is very confusing. So
It's because it's like the show, like I said earlier, is pretty countercultural, like maybe like liberal is a better way to put it.
Mhm.
Much like Mad Magazine wasn't like revolutionary, but it did have like a kind
that's a
of
satirical bend
irreverent,
to it. Yeah.
liberal perspective. But then it's like a flat out like racial slur bit in your TV
I
show.
guess
It's like, I guess it's a good thing that they moved on quickly.
right. Yeah. Well, there wasn't anything more to it.
Yeah.
But yeah. So my
Oh my god,
point.
it prefigured Cumtown.
Wow. The universal constant. Yeah. All shows measured against Cumtown.
That's right.
But
That's right.
no, it isn't. So, but yeah, that's the thing is, and I only mentioned
Sorry.
Jessica Jones, a series from like 2009 or something. Like it doesn't fucking
Yeah.
matter, but it was just the point that like red pilled me or black pilled me or whatever on streaming services, where I'm like, this is a waste of time. Like I don't need to watch all this garbage. This is just
Well,
me sitting at the
you see
TV.
why I canceled Netflix years ago.
Right. Yeah, because it is just there to be like, hey, sit your ass down and we'll meet out some drama and we'll dumb it down for you rather than make like one explosive thing to like hold your attention, because as it turns out that isn't compatible with the subscription model, even though
Yeah.
I rewatched Driver like 3 times this week because
It's so
because
sick.
it's so sick. Yeah, it's so good. Like I
Yeah.
texted you that thing where it's like, I don't do loans, and she's like, are you sure? And his answer is he doesn't answer. Just like,
Yeah, he just like waits for her to like get the hint.
right? Yeah, it's like, what did I just say, bitch?
Get your ugly ass out of here, Isabella, Johnny.
Right? Yeah, no busted 22-year-old.
Why don't you go freak out in a subway tunnel?
Right? Yeah. So yeah, so you can make rewatchable content, but I don't know, something got mistranslated along the way where it's just like, we need to make sure that people never stop watching, and the way to do that is to just do like this, just give them the smallest bit of drama that you can over the long amount, over a long enough amount of time, like a drug dealer. You keep them addicted, but you just give them the barest minimum, and you just
And you make sure you hook kids too.
you just
because it's funny.
yeah, to misquote Dick Jones from RoboCop, who cares if it worked? Like it's there to keep people busy. It isn't there to like entertain them. It's just to make sure that you get that subscription money, to make sure you get that advertising money, and
I wonder if it doesn't
goes
also
secondary.
I wonder if it doesn't also have a lot to do with like how like viewing habits have changed. And I know Tim, you might know something about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know how like current American life is just like this constant bed of background noise where it's like there is always a screen near you that is always on,
Right.
and it is constantly showing something
Uh-huh.
at varying volume levels through the day. It is never off.
Right.
And when you turn off the TV or monitor or whatever, like the silence feels a little weird, and it's like, what? It's so quiet. Like,
Right.
shit.
Well,
Like, I'll just throw on some episodes of something to like fill the void.
yeah. It is. It is to ensure that you're never alone in an increasingly isolated society. So
That is true.
yeah. And that's the thing too that like I don't get because I am an old about a lot of I was just reading some article about it that was about the parasocial relationships of people with like live streamers on Twitch, where it's like their job is being on Twitch. It's like, I don't know, like every day or like 5 days a week. It's like, here's me on Twitch, because like with the soap operas, you have to keep them hooked by continually making new content. But it's like, what is the content? And I think that that unfortunate way that the word content has kind of wormed its way into entertainment is that maybe we would be generous to call what is being hosted on Twitch or Peyton Place or Turn On or Have You Seen This as entertainment, but rather it is content. It is filler. It is there to ensure there is an audience watching this platform. The notion of whether they're entertained or even enjoying this, that fell by the wayside years ago. The thing is, like, we have metrics to maintain, and if you're a successful Twitch streamer, let's say you're a 0.5% of the successful, i.e., you make more than minimum wage at your stream, Twitch streamers, like, you are locked into that, for life, basically, because as you cease to produce content, your audience is going to drop off. Even when they change the cast for Peyton Place, like, there's a huge drop off in audience retention when they tried. And again, like, another lesson that still is not being learned. I think it was ABC who produced Peyton Place. They had 2 episodes a week and people followed it religiously. Then they're like, oh, line go up. I bet we can get more viewers if we have more episodes. But they kind of like didn't kill the golden goose, but they certainly strangle it, because people are like, I can't watch TV 3 nights a week. I can't be home every night at 9:30 to watch this show. Most people aren't like me watching B-movie TV, where I set my life around it. People are like, look, I can't watch TV all night. I have a life, back when that was a thing. And then audience numbers started to drop off because people couldn't keep up with it. And once you like break that spell, once your audience is no longer invested, like, they miss an episode and they're like, to hell with it. I'm not going to go through this whole backlog. I'm not going to watch the reruns of Peyton Place. Rerun? What's a rerun? Like, yeah, like if someone was reading a book and you tore out a chapter of it, like, are they going to skip over and be like, I can pick this up? Like, no, they'd just be like, no, I don't know what's going on. You lost me.
Yeah.
So it is
much like we definitely lost our listeners 20 minutes ago.
I trust that they will stick with our avant-garde approach to podcasting. And if they don't, like, how many more listeners could we lose at this point, really?
Peyton Place will not be seen tonight, so that we may bring you a complete pile of shit.
I love reading the synopsis of Peyton Place, because talk about like assaultive media. Like, the synopsis reads like a telegram. Here, like, Rod fears Betty no longer wants to be with him. Stop. Michael persuades reluctant Jill to take a job as a nurse's aide. Stop. Susan threatens to ruin Tom unless he takes her back. Stop. Joe can't admit he has feelings for Jill. Stop. It's like, okay, hey, I just saved you 22 minutes.
Yeah.
So
it's like being punched with scenarios.
Right, yeah. Just like when I was watching Andor.
Have you seen this? It's Mad Magazine, edited by Lev Kuleshov and something contemporaneous and relevant. Charles Manson.
Thank you for listening. If you enjoyed this episode, you can show your support by going to patreon.com/haveyouseenthis and make a pledge at the $2 or $5 tier. $5 a month gets the latest episode before everyone else, plus access to our Discord where we're always arguing about movies. If you'd like to give us a tip, our Ko-Fi link is in the show notes. I did want to make a comparison to WarioWare, but it wouldn't fit in anywhere.
What's a WarioWare?
WarioWare is brilliant because it is basically Nintendo spam. We have a bunch of game developers, and these game developers come up with fun little mechanics to use in our consoles. Not all of them find a place, but we still have all this code just sitting around, but nothing to do with it.
Oh.
Can we make a game out of that? No, that game would be terrible. Okay, what if a terrible video game character did that? Oh, you mean like Wario? Like Wario the anti-Mario was like, I hear you can get rich making cheap video games. Why don't we put out a video game, but I'm just going to make some of the cheapest, most cut rate, non-enduring games that I can manage without having to put a lot of work into it. And that's how WarioWare, in the sort of meta text, that's how WarioWare came about. Because it is a video game where you're playing video games that are about 3 seconds long. Because the premise on all of them isn't sustainable. Where it's like the trick is turn or press B or whatever. It isn't a fun game. And I love how much WarioWare commits to not being fun. You know, we talk a lot about avant-garde in this episode, but it is kind of avant-garde where it's like, we made a video game that sucks and you're going to love it. I'm like, I do. These video games are terrible. I'm having so much fun.
I have never heard of that. That's fascinating.
Yeah, there was a great mini game in one of the versions of WarioWare, and it was a game called Jump Forever. Guess what you do in it? It is a game of jump rope, and it gets increasingly, slowly difficult. But it's like Desert Bus, where it is.
I was gonna say.
Yeah, every time you jump, you get 1 point. And you just keep jumping rope until you get caught out. And that's the end of the game. And if you want to play it again, you start over.
Wow.
From zero.
That's amazing.
It's just its commitment to not being fun is awe-inspiring.
So yeah, this is God, that's so much more clever than Turn On though.
Well, that's why Nintendo's the way they are, I guess.
Yeah. What's weird is that Nintendo as a company existed at the time that Turn On was briefly on TV.
Oh yeah, making playing cards and all sorts of fun things.
Pachinko machines.
Yeah.